Most people who drive older vehicles are slowly killing their battery without even knowing it. A dying battery doesn't just leave you stranded. It can fry your alternator, destroy your starter, and cost you thousands in repairs. Statistics show that millions of roadside emergencies happen each year because of battery failure. And the brutal truth is that most of these disasters could have been prevented with simple maintenance. There's a straightforward morning habit that countless drivers have, and it's secretly draining years off their battery's lifespan. Understanding how to properly care for your battery can push its life expectancy to a full decade. The final tip alone could save you from being stuck on the side of the road at 2 a.m. Secure your battery properly to prevent vibration damage. A loose battery is a dead battery waiting to happen. The constant shaking and movement inside your engine bay creates silent destruction. The lead plates inside grind against each other until they crack, short circuit, and fail completely. A brand new battery can be ruined in just 6 months if it's bouncing around under your hood. That's money thrown straight into the garbage. The battery mount should be the first thing you examine on any used vehicle. Open your hood and grab the battery with both hands. Give it a firm shake. Any movement at all signals trouble. The battery needs to sit completely still in its tray, with zero sliding, leaning, or rattling. Tighten the hold-down clamp properly with a socket wrench until everything is snug, but don't over-tighten or you'll crack the battery case. Check the tray for rust and clean it thoroughly. A bent tray will twist the battery case over time, creating stress that kills the internal cells. For vehicles driven on rough terrain, add a rubber isolation pad underneath the battery to absorb vibration and protect the case. Skip the amateur fixes like wedging wood blocks or foam scraps around your battery. That's a shortcut that leads to failure. Install a smart battery maintainer for long-term storage. Parked cars are battery killers. Even when your vehicle is completely off, small electrical draws continue running. The alarm system, computer memory, and clock all sip power constantly. This slow drain gradually lowers voltage and causes sulfate buildup on the plates. Good batteries die while sitting unused, especially in vehicles that only get driven occasionally. The solution is a smart trickle charger, also called a battery maintainer. These are completely different from basic chargers. A quality maintainer monitors battery voltage and delivers exactly the right amount of charge needed without ever overcharging. Reputable brands offer reliable units that you can trust. Connect red to positive, black to negative. Plug it into a wall outlet. Select your battery type and leave it connected. The maintainer keeps your battery at peak health indefinitely. For vehicles in long-term storage, install a quick disconnect plug to avoid wrestling with clamps every time. Never connect any charger to a frozen battery or damaged cables. Cheap no-name chargers without safety shutoffs are dangerous. A proper float charge prevents deterioration and decay. Replace corroded terminals and apply protective grease. That crusty green and white buildup on battery terminals isn't just cosmetic. Corrosion increases electrical resistance, restricts current flow, and forces both your battery and alternator to work harder than necessary. This extra strain can cut battery lifespan by years. The American Automobile Association has found that most battery failures are actually caused by poor cable connections. People waste money replacing perfectly good batteries when they just needed to clean the terminals properly. Safety first. Turn off the engine and remove the keys. Wear protective gloves and eyewear. Always disconnect the negative cable first, followed by the positive. Scrub the battery posts with a wire brush or terminal cleaner until they shine like new metal. Clean inside the cable clamps thoroughly as well. Cracked or loose cables need replacement. Swollen or heavily corroded terminals need replacement too. Terminals are inexpensive, but poor electrical flow will cost you dearly. The negative battery cable, often called the engine ground strap, causes more battery and starter problems than most people realize. A bad ground creates slow starts, dim headlights, mysterious warning lights, and batteries that seem to fail for no reason. Bad grounds silently destroy charging systems from the inside out. Add a heat shield to protect against engine bay temperatures. Most people assume winter kills batteries, but that's only half the story. Extreme heat cooks batteries from the inside out. High temperatures under the hood boil away electrolyte, warp internal plates, and dry out cells. Battery industry experts warn that heat is the leading cause of battery failure worldwide. If you live somewhere with scorching summers or park your vehicle in direct sunlight all day, battery protection becomes critical. After a long drive, open your hood and feel the air near the battery. If it feels like you're standing near an oven, you have a serious heat problem. The fix is straightforward. Install a battery heat shield or wrap-style insulator. These products are made from heat-resistant foam or fiberglass with reflective foil backing. They can lower battery temperature by up to 20 degrees, which translates directly into years of additional service life. Slip the insulator around your battery and secure it properly. Some vehicles came with factory heat shields. If yours is missing, add one immediately. Never cover the top vents. And absolutely don't wrap your battery in plastic bags or cloth rags. That traps heat and makes everything worse. Use a proper heat shield designed specifically for automotive batteries. Take longer drives to allow complete recharging. Short 5-minute trips never give your alternator enough time to replace the power consumed during startup. Repeat this pattern daily, and your battery gets progressively weaker. Low charge levels cause sulfation, a buildup of hardened lead sulfate crystals on the battery plates. It works like arterial plaque, blocking power flow and slowly suffocating the battery. Capacity drops and cold weather starts become sluggish. Here's the reality that most people miss. Your alternator isn't designed to charge a depleted battery. It's designed to maintain an already charged battery at full capacity. It cannot resurrect a weak battery during brief trips. If your typical daily drive is only a few minutes long, change your routine immediately. Once or twice weekly, take your vehicle for a 20 to 30-minute drive. Highway speeds work best. This gives the alternator sufficient time to restore proper voltage levels and burn off surface charge buildup. If extended drives aren't possible, use a smart charger weekly to top off the battery. Don't just hope that short trips will work out fine. Hope isn't a strategy. Proper charging equals battery longevity. Find and eliminate parasitic electrical drains. Batteries can drain completely dead while your vehicle sits unused. This is called a parasitic draw. Every modern vehicle has a small baseline draw for memory functions and security systems. But when this draw becomes excessive, it becomes a power thief. Aftermarket accessories are the primary culprits. Cheap dashboard cameras, LED light strips, Bluetooth adapters, and poorly installed stereo systems act as vampire loads, sucking power around the clock. One customer went through 3 batteries in 8 months. The battery wasn't the problem. It was a tiny USB charger plugged into the cigarette lighter socket, draining power all night long. Testing for drains is methodical. Make sure everything is off and close all doors so interior lights shut off. Remove the negative battery cable and connect a multimeter in series, set to measure amps. Normal draw should be under 50 milliamps. Higher readings mean trouble. Start pulling fuses individually until the current draw drops. When you find the problematic circuit, remove or repair the offending device. If you're uncomfortable performing this test, have a shop run a professional parasitic draw test. The cost is worth it. Constantly jump-starting a drained battery will destroy it permanently. Identify the problem, fix it, or remove it. Test battery health once per year. Most people never test their battery until it completely fails. That's a costly mistake. A battery can appear fine, start the engine reliably, and still be dying internally. Weak batteries strain the starter motor, stress the alternator, and leave you stranded when weather conditions change. Battery problems are the #1 cause of roadside assistance calls nationwide. Annual testing prevents this nightmare scenario. Test resting voltage with a digital multimeter with the engine off. A healthy battery reads around 12.6 volts. Anything at 12.2 volts is already low. Under 12.0 volts means serious trouble. However, voltage readings alone aren't sufficient. You need a load test or conductance test to determine true battery health. Most auto parts stores offer free testing or purchase a handheld battery tester. Set the tester for your battery's cold cranking amp rating. If it fails under load, replace it before it leaves you stranded somewhere inconvenient. Check the manufacturing date code on your battery. If it's older than 5 years, monitor it closely. Keep testing receipts to track performance trends over time. Maintain your alternator and voltage regulator. A faulty alternator destroys more batteries than age ever will. People blame the battery when the real culprit is incorrect charging voltage. Voltage that's too low means the battery never reaches full charge. Voltage that's too high literally cooks the battery from the inside. One vehicle owner destroyed 2 brand new batteries in 3 weeks because the alternator was pushing over 15.5 volts, a slow death by internal boiling. Test your charging system simply. Grab your multimeter and start the engine. Measure voltage across the battery posts. A healthy charging system shows approximately 13.8 to 14.6 volts with lights and AC running at idle, increasing slightly with RPM. If voltage drops below 13.5 volts, the alternator may be weak. If voltage exceeds 15 volts, the voltage regulator has failed or the alternator is overcharging. Either condition will wreck your battery quickly. Listen for whining or grinding noises from the alternator. Check for burnt belt smell. Inspect wiring connections at the back of the alternator for looseness. Never ignore dashboard warning lights. Those aren't just indicator bulbs. They're urgent warnings. Your charging system must function correctly or nothing else matters. Keep the battery case clean and dry. Dust, engine oil, and road grime accumulating on top of your battery can hold moisture. When this happens, electrical current can track across the dirt from one terminal to the other. This slow surface discharge drains the battery even when the vehicle is completely off. Batteries can lose half a volt overnight just from a dirty case. Cleaning is simple. Engine off, protective gloves on. Mix warm water with a spoonful of baking soda. Dip a small brush or cloth in the mixture and scrub the top of the battery case gently. Don't soak it. Wipe it clean and dry thoroughly with a clean towel. Use compressed air to blow off any remaining moisture if available. Keep vent caps closed if your battery has removable caps. Water inside the cells causes damage. Look for acid staining or cracked plastic housing. These signs indicate leaking, which means immediate replacement is necessary. Never spray engine degreaser directly on a battery. Don't blast it with a pressure washer either. That just pushes contamination into places you can't clean. Select the correct battery chemistry for your needs. The wrong battery will fail prematurely regardless of how well you maintain connections. Not all batteries are created equal. Cheap flooded starter batteries work fine for basic transportation, but if you want maximum longevity in a used vehicle, battery chemistry makes a significant difference. For daily driver vehicles, a quality flooded lead-acid battery from a reputable brand works perfectly well. However, if your vehicle sits unused for extended periods, has a winch, upgraded audio system, or heavy electrical accessories, upgrade to an AGM battery. AGM batteries resist vibration better, handle deeper discharge cycles, and recharge faster. They cost more upfront but deliver longer service life. AGM batteries routinely last 8 to 10 years in real-world conditions. Don't mismatch battery types with incompatible charging systems. Some older alternators overcharge AGM batteries. Check your owner's manual or underhood label. Match the group size and cold cranking amp rating to your vehicle's requirements exactly. An undersized battery overworks the plates. An oversized battery strains the charging system. The right battery is your foundation for longevity. Avoid deep discharge cycles and low charge states. Low charge kills batteries slowly. Deep discharge kills them rapidly. Lead-acid batteries aren't designed to drain empty like smartphone batteries. Every time voltage drops under 12.0 volts, sulfation hardens on the plates. Let it drop below 11.5 volts, and you've just eliminated months of potential lifespan. Repeat this frequently, and the battery will never hold a full charge again. If your vehicle cranks slowly or you accidentally leave lights on, don't just jumpstart it and drive away. That's the lazy approach, and it destroys internal plates. Charge it back to full capacity properly using a smart charger. Maintain resting voltage around 12.6 volts and never allow it to sit in a weakened state. If your vehicle has power-hungry accessories like amplifiers or winches, run the engine while using them. Never drain the battery dead if you want decade-long service life. Add distilled water to flooded batteries. Regularly flooded batteries lose water gradually over time. Heat and charging evaporate it. When plates become exposed, they dry out, sulfate, and crack. This only applies to serviceable flooded batteries with removable caps. Sealed batteries don't require this maintenance. Wear gloves and eye protection. Battery acid burns skin. Remove the caps and look inside each cell. The plates must remain covered by liquid but not overfilled. Use only distilled water, never tap water. Tap water contains minerals that damage plates. Add small amounts with a plastic funnel until water sits just below the fill ring. Don't spill. Wipe any acid off the case immediately and charge the battery after adding water. Minimize electrical use when the engine is off. A battery's primary job is starting the engine, not powering accessories. When you sit with the engine off running the radio, charging devices, operating fans, or watching screens, you're draining battery life unnecessarily. If the engine isn't running, shut down everything you don't absolutely need. Turn off the radio. Unplug chargers. Disable dome lights. Close doors so courtesy lights extinguish. If you need sustained power, start the engine so the alternator carries the electrical load. Alternatively, use a portable jump pack or power bank instead of draining the battery. Good batteries have been drained so low by extended audio use that they never recovered. Keep rolls clear, battery for starting, alternator for power. Don't confuse their functions. Use a smart charger after any deep discharge event. A dead battery isn't necessarily a bad battery, but only if you recover it correctly. When voltage drops severely, crystals form on the plates. The longer it sits dead, the harder those crystals become. Jump-starting and driving doesn't fix this problem. Forcing your alternator to recharge a completely dead battery can burn out the alternator itself, an expensive mistake. Use a smart charger with recovery or reconditioning mode. Connect it with the engine off. Red to positive, black to negative. Select the correct battery type and let it run a complete charge cycle without interruption. Real recovery charging takes hours. If voltage is below 10 volts, some chargers won't initiate. Use a manual charger to wake the battery, then switch to smart mode. Keep your battery cool. And replace proactively. Heat cooks batteries from the inside out. A hot engine bay breaks down electrolyte, warps plates, and builds internal resistance. A battery that should survive 10 years may fail in 3 if it runs hot constantly. This problem is worse in cramped engine bays and older vehicles with poor airflow. Keep your battery as cool as possible. Park in shade whenever available. Avoid prolonged idling in extreme weather. Ensure your engine bay has adequate ventilation and the cooling system functions properly. If your vehicle design allows it, relocate the battery to the trunk with a proper relocation kit. Cooler operating temperatures directly translate to longer lifespan. Don't run a battery until it completely fails. Replace it before it leaves you stranded. Replacing batteries at 6 to 7 years of age, even when they still function, is proactive maintenance and cheap insurance. Keep a date label on every battery you install so you always know its true age. This approach keeps you ahead of failure instead of reacting to it. Following these practices will maximize your battery investment and keep you reliably on the road.